Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday afternoon and it's absolutely lashing down outside with rain and it's pretty cold, so there's been no point today in going out and doing any photography. But I thought I'd do a little tiny project indoors and put it on video and show you guys what I'm up to. It's basically smoke photography using incense sticks. Now, there's a load of this, it's quite common, but and I've done it before on digital, but I've never printed and I've certainly never shot on film before. And I've already got the setup here. It's taken me a while to set up. I've got a stand here with the incense stick. I've got my Canon flash. I've got a blue background, which is going to be black when we produce the black and white prints. And here I've got a 35mm Nikon F90X with a roll of Tri-X 400 inside. So using the DSLR, it was quite easy to set up because I could see the images coming back at me. But you can't do that with film. So I've kind of used the DSLR as a Polaroid, if you like, to see what settings to dial into the 35mm SLR. But if you haven't got a DSLR and you've got a light meter, I did do some light readings and come up with the same settings. So that was quite reassuring. I'll just show you how I did that. So if you've only got a film camera and a light meter, there's a way of reading the light for this, and I've already tested this out and it worked pretty well. This is the flash here. I've got a cardboard snoot over it just to direct the flash because I didn't want any going back into the camera or spilling onto the background. The smoke would be coming up here. So I just took a black piece of card and I just did a reflective reading off the black card. And it gave me F11. That's with a shutter speed of 125, which is the camera's sync speed, and obviously dialed in there is the ASA of 400 for the film I'm using. So like I said, I had already done some DSLR test shots, but I was more intrigued to know if I didn't have a DSLR, how would I meter the light for the smoke? And that was the best way that I found. It took a little bit of dabbling around to try and figure a way of doing it, but just using the black card and the reflective just behind the smoke, and I got the same reading as what the DSLR was giving me earlier on in the test shots. So let's just have a quick look around the kit before we start our photographs. I've got a Canon 430EX2 flash gun. I've set it to manual. It's on half power, and it's being controlled using wireless triggers that I've got here underneath it. And I've just got it on a normal camera tripod stand. And I've made this cardboard snoot because if I didn't have this snoot, the light would just be spilling into the lens or spilling into the background, and I wanted the light directly onto the smoke itself. So that's the light setup, that's the light source there. So here I've got my incense stick and a little tiny peg holding it on, and a stand. And probably one important thing I should show you, I've got some chipboard underneath the stand with the incense stick, so when the ash or any lit ends fall from the incense stick onto the floor, they're going to land on that chipboard and not on my carpet. And this is the whole setup. There's the camera on a tripod, the light, the incense stick on a stand. The background, as I've already said, the background is, I've probably gone out of focus, but this is just a blind bought from the local DIY store, a blue blind. And I've got different colours of these and use these all the time. Just prop them up between two poles and they work for really good backgrounds. So the first thing I've got to do is get my trigger unit put back on top of the camera. I've already set the 35mm camera up. I've framed it just above the incense stick. I don't want to get any of the incense stick in the photographs. I just want the smoke, so I've just framed it above. Now, if you're a child, make sure you've got your parents watching you while you're doing this. Important. Okay, that's it. That's the rest of the film shot up. So I'm going to now develop the film and have a look at the negatives, get them in the darkroom, and hopefully come out with some nice prints. I'll see you in the darkroom. Okay, so I've got the negative on the enlarger now and we're projecting it onto the baseboard. This is a 10x8 baseboard and I'm just coming in slightly smaller than 10x8 size. First thing I need to do is a test strip. And I have to make sure the test strip comes down this side because the smoke is the area that I want to test for my exposure detail. So this is the test strip machine that I'm going to be using. You can see this is my increments. I'll be placing it on here. So I just place a little bit of paper, strip of photographic paper in there, and then I can do my test strips like so. So that's the first thing to do, is just to do a quick test strip on the image and develop it and see what it comes up with. I'm going to do increments of 3 seconds, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18, and then we'll see what we come up with. Back in again, let's develop this test strip, and this should come through pretty quick because it's fresh developer. Just wait for this test strip to come through. Here it comes, exactly what I was expecting before. So I'll just let that sit in there now for about a minute, and I'll just agitate it very slowly, occasionally. Can't see it, it's just gone to the side. There it is. So we'll give that a quick stop and fix, and then have a look at the test strip. You can see we've got 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 9 seconds. I'm going to forget these, they're too dark. So it's going to be between 3, 6 and 9. 3 is too muddy, there's no detail in there at all. I think 6 is as well. But 9 seems to be going on the darker side. So I'm just going to go in between 6 and 9. I'm going to go for 7 seconds, a test print at 7 seconds, and see how that looks. Okay, and this is the test print I've just done at 7 seconds, and it's quite nice. I quite like it. So this has worked out really well. I'm going to do another. I'm going to do a print, a final print with this at 7 seconds. It's really simple printing. You know, there's no dodging and burning to be done. It is as it is. It is what it is. So let's go for a print now, a 10x8 print, and see how that comes out. So before I make a final print, I've noticed the composition's a bit weird. It just doesn't do much. So I'm going to turn this into a portrait instead of a landscape. I'm going to turn it into a portrait, which means I'm now going to have to enlarge the smoke so it goes up straight through the centre of the paper. Now that's going to change our developing time, so I'll have to do one more test strip for that. So I'm glad I didn't waste a bit of paper that side. I didn't think the first time I put it on the easel, but looking at it, the composition is going to be best portrait. Let's just put that on. Let's just set the enlarger to make it to make the composition right. Okay, so I've just started to raise the enlarger to get a composition. I've opened the aperture again as wide as I can, and that's going to look much better. That's going to look much better. Just need to now focus in. I'll just use a piece of paper and my focusing tool to do that. Just rock it back slowly, back and forth. Starting to come through now. Okay, I'll let that sit in there for about another 30 seconds. Stop and fix and see what we've got. Yeah, so that was quite a fun little project to do, really. I've never done it on film before. I've done it on digital, and it's much easier on digital because you can shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and just keep looking, shoot and shoot, go on Photoshop, decide which one. You're not going to be doing that on film. I only had 15 shots left in that camera, and you know, looking back, if I had 36 shots, I could have just kept shooting and shooting and shooting, and maybe got a few better ones. I think these are slightly out of focus, but it was just a little test and a little play around on a Saturday afternoon because it was down with rain. So what else are you going to do? So yeah, it was quite enjoyable to do, and you know, if it gives anyone else a little idea for a little project with their film cameras, it's pretty easy to set up. And even if you haven't got a flash, I mean, I was using a flash gun, and some people haven't got them, but I'm sure you'd be able to, you know, use some high-powered LED lights, or maybe some lamps, and experiment that way. You know, it's all about playing around and having a bit of fun at the same time. So, but I'm probably going to do I won't do another video, but I'll probably do another session of this and see if I can get 3 like this framed, and I think they'd look quite nice in a home, or you know, in someone's premises, in a restaurant or something like that, just 3 on the wall. So I'm going to put these, I'm going to Photoshop these into frames and just see how they look, and I'll put it in this video. But yeah, thanks a lot guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it and subscribe to my channel. See you again next time.